imagine it must have been very rough to play and was a reason like so bad that you can use it as an argument to replay the round. So. Okay, this is interesting though because everyone's going for pretty much the exact same play that they did.
So I was talking about the fact that there's 3 people here. The crazy thing is, there's a couple people here as well.
I said it. I will leave it.
Well, again, I don't think the read was
Why restart the change server, I imagine.
But definitely that there were players around there. We're resetting the pistol round. They've played it once before, and it is always interesting then to see if there's going to be a change of identity.
Okay, the exact same of what's going on.
We saw last time, global control around middle, but 3 players.
Okay, but this time they get hit.
It's only a decoy that they run into. The gate crash from FUT.
Okay, but it's literally the same thing. Martin re-clears this. Are they actually going to end over towards A and we're going to have a 3-person stacking pit again? Okay.
Do you do the same?
Wait, that was nice. Off of the Prowler info?
When it failed so miserably, well, I guess in round 0 that we're never going to see. For now, at least.
It's pretty similar, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We don't have
going down instead of Jettage.
I don't think we have Sugetsu yet in the pit, but I think he knows that there's a very high chance of the salvos going into that position, so just playing on the edge of the exact same spot.
Oh, they pinged the wall.
Not much. Like it's not as much of a rotate. They have less people here, and Harbor was like over here to be able to do the wall.
A moment. It's going to get the rotations coming through as Martin's making his way to the spawn. But the players on site have a bit of a fight. It was flawless last time, but now FUT are putting up a bit of a better fight. 4 versus 3.
Gonna be feeling rough about this one. Nothing to stop this plant.
This is
a great shot.
Like a little bit of a better scenario until Sugetsu drops Zeus, and we're back to even footing with a snake in the grass of Martin up close, waiting to emerge from that smoke. Flank on its way around. Late from Sadek. Martin's gone early and he's been caught. The herd thinning out. Sadek's flank finally gets one. They know where the last player is, but it's Mr.
Salvos, of course.
Salvos online and he'll use them.
Mate, you gotta tap against the Salvos.
Now the time not really pressuring him, and he'll use them as the rotation comes around, moving into a new angle. The defuse started. It's going to be halfway, but here comes Mr. Fallen swinging in.
Is a little much.
He doesn't get the kill. The clock, what he's playing with here, attempting to run it all the way down. The shoulder piece working. Sadek gets the kill, but the clock desperately.
Oh man, Mr. Fallen played it really well.
From KC
well.
last time. But 1-0 to FUT.
Doesn't go the way of K-Cup this time.
The duel of the
But
IGLs
1-0
right
for
off
Pistols.
the bat we see on round 1, and a different result this time around. When we speak about FUT and we look back at what they've done.
Alright, let's get another rollback so we have a best of 3.
Reset, yeah, the best of 3 pistols.
Or any
It's treated like a scrim.
On the other side, we see a different footing against KC.
Similar situation. It was pretty similar, yeah. The big change as well was like in the first pistol they had like the wall like this, and that kind of stopped them hitting over towards the site on time, or they didn't like have any areas cleared. Or is it something that you call like map control?
There was also one less person defending
on site, yeah.
It was like 3v4.
This time winning the battles and a captain, farming up a few, but
Wait, what the? Doing alright on this eco.
To lose any more players.
It's good damage at least.
Oh my goodness, he got another one.
Very good damage.
Wait, oh dude, it's insane damage.
Bodies on the floor. Sadek's coming in, a classic in hand, half HP on Zeus, but an upgrade to a Bulldog at least. There is a real opportunity, especially if they go for this plan to 1v1, could be isolated. We'll see it here. Oh, it's Sadek getting the first and the second. Let's
go.
It might not have been flawless to start.
But honestly, that's better than winning the pistol. Bro's just cracking up. Dude, Aves did incredible work to make this doable.
Aves is crazy. He got like, what, 3.5 kills?
Oh, no.
No!
KC win a round challenge.
You call it, yeah. Mr. Fallen's like, that was not legal. That was not legal.
You see the script here, it says 2-0 to FUT, so we're just going to keep reset until we get there. Oh man, that's a tough way to come
As
out
soon
of that
as they
into a
win
pause,
around, it's a tech
hey,
pause.
maybe that's good for FUT's mental. They'll need a moment
Are
after
you just
that.
not
Sadek's
allowed
on
to win
a
around
5-0
or what?
start. His classic's looking good.
This is rough,
good
man.
signs for KC at least.
There's even a Red Bull club.
Let's just put the whole thing online.
There it was, yeah.
Let everyone play in the house.
I'm just here for the sponsors. That's my role for the day. I'm just going to be reading out all of the sponsors.
Actually, just move the whole studio to Frankfurt, so this is not a problem. We don't play on 30
Next to the server, yeah.
But that round was wiped from existence. But yeah, we'll wait and see, because obviously I'm assuming it's going to be a similar scenario with that being investigated. So
Does EMEA have the most tech pauses this year?
it's
I reckon
gonna
they
be
have
brutal,
more
especially
time
for
in tech
KC when
pauses than all
first you take
three
pistol, then the
of
second
the other
round, if anything,
regions
at times would be
combined.
more valuable. You
This
get
year,
an
yeah.
upgrade, although
Yeah,
it's
I would say
only one
easily.
gun because only
For
one
sure.
player survived. But also you destroy your opponent's economy. You're going to get a few orbs along the way as well for that reckoning, which I'll be honest, it took me a moment to remember that alt's name, because I think this is the first time in an absurd amount of time I've actually casted someone playing Harbor.
You haven't casted Sanic this year.
No, I don't think we have.
I don't think we have. We've dodged him every step of the way somehow.
Or he's dodged us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I can understand
be
it from his
surprised.
side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I love you guys, but yeah.
Maybe that's what Sue meant when she said I was sassy.
Yes.
Someone lied in their resume.
Wait, you thought she meant me?
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm really good at setting up
Well, it
servers,
is.
guys. I got this.
Well, yeah, I agree with you here. There's a good chance we could be looking at the same issue. The question, I suppose, on my mind is whether that's going to be a rollback for KC. You put 2 out of 3 rounds on the board and they all get cancelled out. That won't be a feels good man for the squad of KC, but the rules are the rules. Either way, Sadic's got to be feeling great, man. Comes in with the classic, walks out with 2. The fact
I
that
mean, yeah,
Aves was able to
this
do so
round
much
must
on long as
count,
well,
surely.
Let's just hope they get to keep it.
Well, something that we have definitely seen.
I mean, if
this
they roll
couple of
this one
rounds,
back,
now is
I won't-
that
I won't
aggression that
speak. I'm
KC is
biased.
putting
I won't
on
speak.
to be long. When we were speaking about FUT, and I was saying the punishing the mistakes of their previous opponents, it was difficult for Koi to fight that space because they were doing it with the chamber, and
What was the
actually
problem
Mr.
exactly?
Fallen was
Apparently
brilliant
server
in
is
dealing
lagging.
with that and putting out a lot of pressure so they could control that part of the map. It looks like KC has a very clear idea on that is a part of the map. That they
Yeah, I
want
know,
themselves.
bro.
I also
I'm not
wonder as
speaking.
well if it's almost just a counter to their own comp.
K-Corp
because
always
you're
getting tech
running a
pauses?
Vice.
No, it was
The
K-Corp last
classic
time.
Vice setup
Players
is
are
you just have
adjusting
the wall on the
settings.
cross deep within B.
Okay.
You abandon that side of the map,
Okay.
leave Vice there alone just with the vines, then you pop the vines.
Players are
when anybody
adjusting
crosses the wall.
settings.
Well, if you're then pushing that with 3 players every single round, if you're FUT on that side of things, you're going, okay, but there's probably just a wall there. We get this space for free. They're putting a prowler in there, walking through, and then they're meeting a ton of resistance. So I quite like the idea of KC are doing that, just going like, you have an idea of how we're going to play, and we're countering ourselves before you can do it.
Well, I have some good news for you.
We back?
Not only will we be getting back into the game very shortly,
Okay.
this
Are we starting again?
Round counts?
we're not going to reset
So
the
what
round.
round are
So
we on?
we're going into round 3. Everything's
Okay,
as it
round
should
counts,
be.
nice.
1-1. KC did manage
As
to
it should
upset
be,
in that previous
1-1.
round. This fight did really happen. It wasn't just in
Dude,
your
non-stop
imagination.
headshots,
And
like a
Sadek
turret,
can
just
keep that
perma-crouched.
smile on his face. They get that
That's my goat.
second
That's my
round
goat
win, which, as you
ideal.
said, Tom, can often be
Still
more
red.
valuable than taking the initial. I believe they're still tweaking some settings, but it will not be as extended of a pause. We won't be keeping Lauren an extra hour.
Yes, that's the Sage we want to see today. Definitely.
Heng almost smiled as well. He was very
It was close.
He was
very
close. He was holding it. He was holding himself back.
You know, he's got to resist. He can't look too happy. You want to. It's only 1-1. It's only been balanced. Sadek doesn't look quite as happy right now.
He's
He's
played
mad as
2
hell.
rounds in 35
He's
minutes.
keeping himself, his mind focused. 5-0 start
It's,
for him.
it is rough.
That's not
At this
including
pace, we
their
might
first
miss
pistol.
like
The whole of
and then
Americas.
tomorrow.
Don't think
Yeah, it was the whole of
Tomorrow.
Americas,
I think it
dude.
was Sugetsu and was it Elite or Aves? I think it was Elite.
Okay, I think we're back.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember. It seems like an
Oh,
Looks like
hours
we're back.
ago, but I
FUT,
see a timer
after getting
moving.
ecoed,
Yeah,
now
I
after
think
full
it's
eco,
zero, yeah.
Sadek has a good amount of money because he got the gun upgrade.
Just wait, yeah. It's gonna go 3,
And-
2, Red Studio.
Pansy will open the door
Two
on
ghosts,
1 and
that's
everything
it.
will turn red.
Well, we've kept
Wait.
her away. She's not chewing
That's a
any more
drops.
cables for the rest
He
of
has,
the game.
he has
Okay.
the mood lighting for the room.
1-1 we go. KC.
Okay,
they get a
K-Corp
lot
do
of
this all the
weapons out of
time
this,
though,
a
where
huge
on their
economic
default they
advantage, and a
block
boost in
vision.
early half.
Do you think
Sugetsu
that
already
already we're
spotting
starting
a bit
to see
of
the
contact.
camera that can get info through this is
See the
smart?
foot.
They got,
They're gonna try to
honestly, they got loads of
use
options
this,
to be able to do
the
this.
disadvantages that they've
If
got.
that camera starts punishing them, they have a protocol
up for it with
for
the
like a quick
numbers.
mistake as
Early
well.
fight on
to
A.
break it.
They don't get anyone there.
Okay, we'll
Embed
see
out of captain,
if they
be
actually
able
start
to still
breaking at
use
one
his
point.
stars, or what few
Yep.
he has to assist the squad. And they'll again look to pressure up towards Art. They've seen that this is where there was a wall waiting for them before, but the setup has changed.
Yeah, very careful approach from the side of KC. Just
Interesting that they use the oi, yo man, we get a Yoru all early for the next big buy round as well. You would imagine.
Moving towards his
Little
ultimate
lineup.
already. That dimensional
Dude,
drift
being
will
the
likely
outlaw
be
player on the
online in
team must be the
next
best
round.
thing ever.
Potential
You
to
just
fight for an
you
all.
just get like
If so, and well, in
5
terms
to
of
8
cost,
free
or
kills.
more importantly, in terms of finances for KC, this is as good as it gets. You get to eco around, you win that eco, you get a free gun, and then, well, if this one comes out flawless, they're in a great spot.
I love the wall position as well. They've given up so much space, but they'll make up for it by holding the extremities. And then if there's a deep push down to the real danger,
I mean, they got to
can
get
go
free
water into your own
fawns and a
spawn.
wall. Like
The
they
wall's gonna
ain't.
catch them.
I put that
They ain't
down
doing
as a
this.
misclick when I start the round.
No, Tom, you were ahead of the curve, okay?
Yeah.
Cerebral gameplay from Tom.
Oh
Biz,
my
and
goodness.
Sadek
It's
picking up
locked
another
onto his head.
through the smoke. These ones a little easier
Okay,
than the fight
Sadek
he
gets
had
his
last
ult,
time.
and
knows just how
FUT are in a
to
really
use
rough
it.
spot because they gotta go up against a harbor rule and they gotta go up against a
Does that mean
Yoru.
that we
Or
get to see the next round?
most
Is the
likely if they
question.
take A main.
Unfortunately, we're gonna be reset. No, I'm kidding. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't panic.
Yeah, I was gonna say they want another round. What happens
As
now?
well. 2 barrels, 3 kills.
I was saying, I really like how patient and how much space KC were given, just playing with those stars. Just, oh my God, why are we doing this? Is this
Oh, no.
tactical?
Nah,
Oh, no, I was
surely
joking,
not.
guys. I was
Guys,
kidding.
Guys,
I was kidding. We don't need the red LEDs.
Guys.
Dude, they don't
Timer's
even want to
frozen.
do it, but it is a
Guys.
tech boss.
you promised me.
No.
No, I'm
I see Mr. Fallen smiling, and that usually makes me happy, but right now, yeah, I
Oh,
don't
their
see
heads are
anybody
off the
with their
keyboards.
hands
It's a
on their
pause.
keyboards.
No.
No, I'm panicking.
After every single
This
round.
is certainly a bumpy start for both of the squads. And
There it is. There it is. Spoke too soon when we were speaking about having a next round.
Sue's never
Somebody
gonna finish
traveled
her
7,000
food.
kilometers for this, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I appreciate
That
you
is
guys in the
true.
crowd as
That's
well.
devastating.
We get a cheer for the tech pause. We'll see how
Dude, we
long
gotta give that
that
person
stays
some
up.
free stuff, surely.
I bloody hope so.
man. They can't catch a break.
We've got the let's go tech pause.
We made it, guys.
Mola. Well,
The crowd was
a little
cheering,
break in
let's
the
go
action.
tech pause.
Certainly not the
Oh,
first.
dude, I thought Aves was
Yeah,
out of here. I
you
thought he was
know
gonna
what,
walk off.
Stretches in.
Yeah.
So Getsu's
Side to side. Some,
warming
yeah,
up his
feet,
wrist.
Yeah. Keep that blood flowing.
At least it's not the winter. It's still warm in the studio, so no one's freezing up down there. But my goodness, it's certainly not an ideal start.
Buff Fade. I feel like we need to buff Sky. There's only
Mr. Falling begs to differ.
I would have said Buff Harbor,
did
but
they win?
I said Mr. Falling begs to differ. I didn't say Mr. Falling.
You didn't say it was right. You said
Exactly.
he begs to differ.
Do you know, when I was having an interview with him and I was
Give
asking
Wingman
him
a
about the
Vandal.
composition,
A hard
and also
one,
about the
actually.
Lotus coming up
Give
later
Wingman a Vandal.
after, well,
Jesus.
we ever finish
That's
this
an
up.
idea. Give Cypher
Thinking of the
Cannon
Lotus
up as
coming
well.
in later.
after the 6th pistol round.
After the, yes, after the, we'll get past the bonus eventually. If there is even a bonus. But as I was saying, after
Where am I
last week
visiting
and
from?
the performance
One
that we saw
single-
against
wait.
Team Liquid, that
All
1
three?
to
Making us
13, maybe
scarce.
that Jet does not come back. Maybe we go back to the FUT that changes composition after
it's
this
a
work.
quiz.
It's a
Wait,
quiz.
Is it?
yeah.
Quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I'm
a
gonna
quiz?
go with number 3. I think it was Indiana, purely because I don't know
Is it-
anything about
where am
Indiana. I want to
visiting
learn
for-
about it.
From New York, United States, Indiana. She's very pretty, so I'm gonna say New York. You're gonna go for Indiana?
Well, I'm guessing I'll go Singapore then.
Yeah, I guess. Can you find the correct one? Which one was the correct one? Indiana.
was it
Yes,
Indiana?
you're right. For the first time.
I don't know
Is that
anything
something-
about Indiana.
Dude made
except
it
that
into a
person is wrong.
quiz.
So there we go. That's the first fact I've gotten. Perhaps we'll learn more as time goes on.
Yeah, they're relying on her for the content.
PC. Which one of those pesky PCs?
It's Sadax. It has to be Sadax.
He's 7-0 at the moment. I don't think it's
7-0.
Sadax.
First with the
Someone
classic, then with the
accidentally installed
bulldog.
wallhacks on his one.
Oh, you're swapping stage PC.
Whenever he clicks, he's on someone's head.
Swapping
It's,
PC?
that'd be a
Oh
problem
boy,
to
we're
have.
here for a while.
Yeah, and again,
We're
I think
here
one of the
for a
things
little
we'll
bit
clarify as we
again.
move on is whether or not
Dude,
that's,
we-
the 2-1 will hold its water.
We're
or
gonna be
whether
an
we'll
hour
back to even
behind.
footing.
We
Either
actually
way, it
might
was a
miss
round where FUT
C9
didn't have a
G2.
lot to work with, but
Oh,
it would be a shame to scrub that
I
collapse.
love EMEA.
That'd be a shame to scrub the end zone flawless. That'd be the second one.
It looks so bad on us because it's been only after like the sponsors, and it makes me sad.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
a little update for the folks at home as we will move away from the caster desk. League officials have confirmed a hardware issue on stage. So while we wait for the PC to be swapped
Dude,
out,
they're
it's gonna
taking
take a
pictures.
moment. We're going to go off to a break. So we will see you after this.
Oh god.
What's this gonna take? 10, 15?
Yeah, at least 10. Yeah. Okay, chat. I'm gonna walk away for a little bit. I recommend everyone does the same thing. Walk around, get some water. Be back in a little bit.
Ain't nothing that can't be done. They told me I wouldn't be nothing. Came on now second to none. I need me a trophy, I need me a ring.
Entertain us, Theo? How?
Know what it is, you know what I mean?
Give me something to entertain you with. There's nothing.
Haters wanna hate, they ain't made top 10.
Your karaoke. Everybody would leave this stream. Q&A, ask me something.
Gone with the wind. Gone with it. I feel like a champion.
I cannot sing in, so you do not want to hear me singing.
Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line. Definition of divine.
Can I go and fix this? I don't think so. Favorite ice cream flavor? Anything citrusy. Lemon, lime.
Put it all on the line. Definition of divine. Feel like a champ, MVP status. Yeah, the win been guaranteed.
Things in Billy Billy Gaming? I don't really watch China, I'm sorry.
You gon' speak about it, then be about it.
Super team, but one player from each region. Jesus. Wait, give me a second. Favorite pizza topping? I'm a simple person. Either margarita or quattro formaggi. Should I get into TFT? No. Why do you like Salak? I just think he's smart. I think he's smart, I think he's creative. Right? Like, he looks at the meta not in a way that like, what are other people doing, let me do this, but more like, what do I want to do in this environment? And I think that's really interesting. Explain why are you so freaking troubleshot by Civil here? Different streams have different rules. So I adhere to the rules. Favorite emote? This one probably. Am I getting paid for this entertainment? No, I'm being held here against my will. Please help me. Mosh pit, maybe. I don't drink energy drinks. Did I watch the United game? No, I need to watch the highlights. I was watching Chelsea Legia.
I got big dreams, I'ma do big things. You see me on the big screen looking so clean. I don't move slow.
Favorite VCT team? Right now or all time? Right now it's KC.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'd be grateful for everything that I have. You only got
Yes, I am.
life, you don't get it back. Make the most of it.
How would I buff Gecko in the current meta? I personally wouldn't. There are some characters right now which aren't weak, they are just overshadowed by the presence of Teo and Vice. I think Gecko is one of those characters. So the moment you nerf Teo and Vice, Gecko will come back to the meta in my opinion. Can I meow? Can I do a kickflip? No, I break my legs every time I wake up from bed. You don't want me jumping. All time my favorite team? Loud 2023. What do I do in real life? I don't work, I'm a student. That's an Arsenal 2-1 Madrid. I'm not happy about either of those teams ever winning. I'm a fan of Chelsea and I follow Atletico Madrid. To me that's like devil versus devil matchup, I don't care. What am I studying? Electronic engineering. Isn't Elec stronger than Vice? They're both broken, they have different use cases. Is there a tech pause? Yes, they're swapping a PC on stage. Thoughts on Villa? They're doing great. They're also proving that Emery is a good coach, which I've always thought was the case. Thoughts on PRX? I think they can come back in the second stage. Bro, watch Chelsea get beat at home by Legia Warszawa? Yeah, I did. Why 23 and not 22? 23 was the Toys, Kawanzin, Sadak, Aspas less, right? That's the team I meant. Maybe I fricked up the years, but that's the team that I meant. Can mods change stream title? We can. I've seen the clip that we watched on stream, Ivy. It was good. Aiming to become a pro in the future? Brother, I'm gold. Toddles Diggy as your boss? He's really funny. And he's very nice. Do I touch grass? Yeah, sometimes. Currently? Oh, that's a good question. That's actually a good question. Palmer is the easy answer, but I actually have been a fan of Colwell for a very long time, so I'll say Colwell. Palmer's form, just ups and downs. He's a young player. He needs to figure out his head of how to stay in the game. Right now is like the crucial time where we see whether he becomes a really top player or whether he just becomes a Premier League standard, like normal guy. I said that gold he is. Messi or Ronaldo? For me, Messi. But I have massive respect for both. Cereal before milk or milk before cereal? Alright. That question is flawed because the answer to that question comes directly from the more important question, which is whether you use hot milk or cold milk. If you're doing cold milk, then obviously cereal first. If you're doing hot milk, then you have to... Yeah, if you're doing hot milk, then you have to do milk first. Yes, hot milk. People do hot milk with cereals. KC did not win 2-1. It is map 1. This is the round score of the first map. Is hot dog a sandwich? Yes.
I'm feeling good, feeling great now. A hater can't play with my day now.
Hot milk is definitely the less popular one, but it does exist.
Yeah, I'm living life to the fullest.
What uni do I go to? Yeah, let me just dox myself. Yamal is insane, but I also expect him to just start going down with injuries at like 26. It's no sweat, I'm a vibe in my own right. Go time in the sun, yes I'm gon' shine. So fine, got Betty on my phone line, feeling good, feeling great, chasing these. Oh, sorry, XYZ. No, I like the 23 one because I'm a big Kawanzin believer, and I also thought those comps back then they were incredible. Am I Mariska in or out? I don't know. I don't know. I'm willing to wait until the end of the season to answer that question. Put my soul on that beat. I'm ready to feast. Margaritas with some divas. I'm pouring the drinks. I'm living life to the fullest. The blessings in me. Don't really care what you say. Whatever you think. Nah. Miles Lewis Skelly. I haven't watched enough Arsenal to really say. He looked really good in the England games that I watched. Who do I think goes to the final of UCL? Let me look at the semis. Money on my mind, I see passion and pride that despise all the lies. I've been around the world, so I'm down for the ride. Good drinks, good people, and good times. Fast cars, pretty women on FaceTime. More money, more fun. And I'm just chasing my shots with good vibes. Feeling good, feeling great. Probably Barca Arsenal, but I hope PSG wins instead. Am I dating? No. Did you buy the KC bundle? I'm a broke student, my guy. Who do I think makes Toronto from all the regions? I have no idea. G2. Boom. Yeah, I don't remember any other teams. Favorite area in electrical engineering? Hardware design. And also like assembly stuff. Not assembly as in coding assembly, but assembly as in like putting actual artifacts together. Favorite team in other regions? In Americas it's probably Sen. In APAC, it's either PRX or Boom these days. In China, I don't have a favorite. I don't watch tier 2. Are you gonna become a millionaire in the future? I'm not sure. Least favorite team in other regions? I don't hate watch. I'm from Poland. No, assembly coding is not it. I meant assembly as in like actual physical assembly of like electrical components.
Welcome
We
back,
think in chat.
everybody. It looks
Ooh.
like the Reds disappeared from our studio, and we'll be jumping back into the game in just
Straight
a couple
away?
seconds. In fact, even quicker. We're already back in the game.
We're back.
Ready to roll. League
For how
officials
long?
have swapped out the PC, and hopefully
At least
that's
around.
going to be the end of our troubles. Perhaps not the end of FUT's troubles. They're 1 round on the board out of 4 played so far. But
Oh my god, look at my
technically 3.
IGL.
And the barriers will go up with KC
Okay,
playing
so
a
K-Corp,
bonus,
they're
but a
1
pretty
away from
powerful one as well.
Euro
Martin's
ult if they
been
won it. They're going
using
up against a
dropping
Euro
bodies
ult though,
with
so
that outlaw in play, ult used by
they do
Zeus right
find
away
the
to be clearing
wall
a lot of
here.
space down here on B. Already found that vice wall as
So
well, so some of the
okay,
danger
they take a lot of the
already well aware
space,
of. Late play by Yedeje, very
and
much
there goes the
expected.
luck on
Martin
this
still
now.
shredding on the outlaw.
This is a dimensional drift.
Okay,
and
with
the
that
wrecking
kill as
now
well,
of
Martin has his
This
ult
is
to be
good as
able
it
to
gets for
retake this.
retake
They got some
utility.
good retake ults right now. They ult to stop them. You imagine this will go over
Then you look
towards
at the
here.
other side, Teo online.
Honestly?
Could
Yeah,
be
I was gonna say, which one do you want to
perfect,
go
they're
for?
gonna use it early.
Wait, he has to commit. Sadak has to commit.
Used by Zeus, he's back on the site.
Oh, there was a stun there as well.
Yeah, there's a nice stun from
Fallen.
Fallen.
Flash used, and Martin gets his reward. Low HP on Mr. Fallen, but he's getting some of it back. Aves quickly dispatches him, and Cracks doesn't last much longer. It's all down to Attica.
Doable.
The spike already being
Doesn't have a
diffused.
suck.
No
No
suck.
The stun, and it's beautiful. Denying.
Oh
with
my
the shot
god.
Just in time, and that'll pull it back to a 1v1.
It's
So
done.
desperately close to taking it across the line, but the defuse under is no.
Oh my goodness, big 1v3.
Clutch
I got
for
close with the
Attica.
defuse
No
though.
trouble for FUT.
And we were speaking about the amount of tools that KC had
The
to
tail
stop
was
that
pretty
from
nice.
happening
Tail into
to
the
have
stun.
a
I felt like
very
Mr. Fallon did
good
pretty
retake.
decent.
We also saw FUT
It forced the
already
device
battling
like
against
all the
what
way into
was happening on
connector.
B at the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah.
of the round. What a beautiful play to close things out in round 4.
I think just normally in those cases you want to have the grab well. The stun not
Yeah,
particularly
they
useful
kind
in
of
many occasions, but
they kind of
just
rushed
expecting
it a
them to be
little
stood
bit when you look at K-Corp.
player
Dude,
is
no
enough,
pause.
but it to be
Oh my
taken over the
goodness.
line. Up until that
Living
point,
a
decent
life of
round for
luxury right
KC.
here.
But you now look at the purchase, they've got plenty. Operator in hand.
Yeah, I do feel like K-Corp
Martin
kind of rushed it a little bit, right? If they had
They
that
now
smoke
go
from
back down
Sagetsu, they could have
slightly
probably
more
timed it, they
classic
could have
setup.
done
The
the
B
smokes,
side
could have
is
been
open.
multiple
Other
people,
than
they
that
could have
single
timed,
wall,
like
it's
actually
separate
just
from
tapped it, and then
formation.
multiple
Other than
people
that,
can
there is
duel.
nothing behind it
I
to slow them
feel
down.
like they messed up. Big round for FUT.
Right up into mid, and now they know
Money's
where
not
Yedeje
good,
is. He could be in
but
trouble, has some support on the sideline.
okay,
It's caught
this
up
was
by
a nice
Sagetsu,
little
and
retake
Attica
though.
just
With 4
fades
people,
away.
re-clear
They
over
try to
towards
take control
middle.
of the
They
space
take
on
the
A as a
space with the
result, but
wall, and
off
it
is
blocks
waiting
hit
for them.
Palmer.
Martin
This is
upgrading
cool.
his sniper, and this time
Was this Theo, you should know this. Was this not different to their normal punish of middle as well? Didn't last time they do this punish, it was with the like longer harbor wall?
It was with the long harbor wall, and they usually wall off themselves and then flash through it with a
Yeah, so they had a different punish over towards middle, so they didn't realize what strat it was. It's cool.
Yeah.
Which is going to pull the
That was the
full
wall that they-
rotation, the majority
Actually, no,
of
that was just a
players
cascade. Yeah, that
making
was
their way
completely
back through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spawn. Everything available for this defensive side, and with 30 seconds left. Are they giving up
Yes,
the
KC
round?
are in
That's the
playoffs.
only assumption I
Playoffs?
can make.
Yeah,
There's no way
everyone's
they're gonna
confirmed
throw
in
all the way
playoffs
back
for
to the A side, try and
EMEA.
make
It's
it
now
through
just
the
2
lines
gets
and
where.
whatever, yeah,
Dude,
other
they actually
input
just
they'll have,
saved
so
this?
that
Wow.
is just gonna be a full-on
It's gonna get a little
save
bit
from the
weird
side
because
of
Mr.
FUT
Fallon's
after
not
a
gonna be able
round
to
victory
buy
over
anything.
Clutch. I guess
Got
the
1-9
problem
loss
is
bonus
there
on
that
top of
the
this, so that
finance
should
is
be an
won't
okay
there
gun
in
with
the
light
next round.
armor.
Yeah, exactly. It was
And
so important
then,
for them
I mean,
to have won
Sadak's
that
about to reach
round number
8K.
4, because otherwise that financial problem would have come much earlier.
Chocolate with the
But
Prime. Thank you for the
approach
6
from
months,
KC
mate.
in this
Appreciate the
round,
Prime.
looking for something different.
Thank you for doing that.
We were speaking about leaving B open and having that double push on from B.
You just
And
got hit now?
however,
It's only
one of the tools
2-2?
you
Nah,
could
we just
use
had the
those escapes
longest
to open and
rounds
create those
ever.
situations
There's no
and
tech
more
balls.
favorable duels.
Yeah,
So
everyone
KC
just
is very
saving
aware of where their winning conditions are.
from the beginning.
It's so good to see that from the defense we are going to see this productivity coming in from them.
EMEA never has
And
tech
like
pauses,
you
come
pointed
on.
out as well, just cutting up that push and allowing the rotations to come back through was the vice wall, and I feel like Elite, it's been a real pain in their side. You can see FUT in some of these rounds pinging out where they think the wall will be. but
Okay,
it's
we got
changed,
the
it's hard, it's water. pressure.
We got the op out, and person that takes the hit buys a stinger. The block of middle create pressure, and they had a fade eye that went deep over towards B, and they kind of got info from that as well.
The retake on mid is a nice approach, but FUT have gone the other direction.
I'm a little worried with how FUT are playing this. Not just this round, like the whole overall thing. I don't think they create enough pressure around maps to do what they're doing, but here we are.
They're like pushing a little bit too hard.
The FUT have decided to go for something far more direct based off having a few weaker weapons. They're being slaughtered though, not able to get past that cross whatsoever.
Okay, definitely seeing a timeout come in here. We got 2-4 loss bonus for FUT, no money here. They can't be buying anything on this. They just need to do more around the map. Like,
I'm very surprised they decided to go A, because if they did a proper anti on KC, they should know what setup they use when they take the op out for the first time. So unless they
they don't. Yeah, they thought he had outlaw still. So he had outlaw last round.
He was also one away from his ultimate. So if he got that first kill and got out of the fight, they could play for a full retake. They didn't need to.
I think like the main thing here is that they just don't do anything around the map.
Yeah. And KC has permanent control of mid, so they're never scared of like getting split on.
But loses this. It's starting to look like it.
And then only getting a singular kill.
There's still a long way to go, but with what you're seeing, it looks like they're gonna get like 4 rounds on attack, which is not enough.
I'm a bit concerned.
Martin killed Teo with an op. I thought he killed him with an outlaw, didn't he?
And with what they've already seen with aggressive pushes coming through from KC quite regularly, they had to know that quite quickly they were going to figure out where they were going. But they still took their time. They were still quite slow. That's why there were so many players there in the last round. I think that could also come off the bat of...
It was an op? Okay.
It was for sure an op? Oh, okay. Well, then maybe they hadn't done their homework, like you were saying.
Because they have I mean, it's a bit of a 50-50, but they have 2 setups on the first round when they have an op. It's leaning towards A more times.
The control that they'd given up. Well, they were playing a little bit more aggressive.
Is Yoru op or chamber op better on this map? I mean, Yoru has way more flexibility for playing here. But everywhere else, the chamber's a little better. But you're so restricted. Okay, honestly, for getting a plant here is probably all they can hope for.
You can see there is no worry. So far, we're on track for an in-zone flawless. And with a
okay, the money from K-Cop is just insane right now. They buy for the rest of this half.
5 players alive, in-zone flawless, and 5 rounds on the board. This defensive side is looking very hard to crack, but let's not forget that that is FUT playing an eco.
It's so important what you're saying. It's difficult to crack. Every single round, we're seeing a different default played in by KC. So if you're FUT, if you're trying to see any gaps, anything that you can exploit, if we speak about the individuals, we see a Mr. Fallen that was super successful and that can take advantage of those cracks. But by KC just doing something different, just having different setups for the Vice, putting the operator at different positions.
We've had this Astral for a little bit. They maybe could have used it when they went for the straight hit up over towards A. We got so many ults in defense. So many ults, so much money. And see, this is the wall that I'm like not super keen on from K-Corp. So like it gives away when they're playing aggro towards A, and you kind of just take a lot of space free from middle. What do these two do? Are they gonna push?
Utilized the salvos already.
Prowler goes in, they do smoke.
Close. That's gone in through to middle.
Wait, whose smoke is this?
And it's given them some extra space.
Is this his cove or something?
Finding any resistance.
I didn't know.
No, there's Ash's smoke.
And then an incredibly aggressive push on the other. A lot of information already garnered.
Yeah, I like this reaction though. Lose over towards middle, start telling on the site at 1 minute's time.
Oh, the gate crash. Look at it going through. They're not going to trip the wire instead. Going to allow this deeper rotation from Martin, whether he pops the ult first or not, I suppose.
Still 3 on site, they still have a flash, they still have... Oh, he didn't hear the Yoru TP. Oh my god, he didn't hear the Yoru TP! No way! I thought he was close enough.
And now, well, have whatever flank you like, KC.
There was Teo explosions going on at the same time, so maybe Lance down.
And indeed, you can see that Martin is going to go back towards middle, perhaps into the waiting arms of Yedege.
He's got incredibly deep control, even has a cam to play off as well, so any surprise factor.
There's no point in K-Corp saving. They got so much money. They at least just lock him in and do damage. Plays in front of the ult. It should be nice from FUT. They need something like this.
For the remaining two, they have unlimited credits. They are literally at the peak, so the idea is to, well, not even get the ults online. It's just about doing damage, as both already available.
Do you want to, as we're saying, you know, like you already have your ultimates. I think it's time to maybe like remove yourself.
Shot.
Okay, there is some damage if you're a vest.
Shots.
That's a great damage.
Dude, that first kill is so impressive.
Running
Yeah.
for the hills is his only option. He'll make it far enough
About the
away.
wall you mentioned, right?
Okay,
They use it in
that
multiple
lead
ways. They use
enclosed
it
in
sometimes
on
for a mid
FUT
take,
now
they use
just
it
two
sometimes
behind
for
it,
the A
proving
aggro,
that
but they
they
also
can
use
take
it
that
when
more
they don't do
direct approach
anything
with great
towards A.
success,
So it's
denying
not
the angle of the
exactly
operator.
It's not, yeah.
Salvos coming
Yeah.
in
It's
from
not like it's a hard read,
sometimes
yeah.
TP in, worked
So it
wonders.
looks like it's
Yeah, we're
aggro, but it's
speaking about
not actually
the
aggro.
TP coming in from
It's
Martin,
nice
but
as
it
well,
was actually the one from
the
Zeus
Teo
that
damage
we
to
should
make
be
sure that
paying
your TP's
attention
clear.
to. We're speaking about FUT. Come on, you need to make them play your game. This kind of executes, this kind of putting all the pressure onto them, finding that gap, spotting where their operator is not.
Okay,
in
now
play,
everyone kind of has a
just
good amount of
taking
money.
advantage of that, also thinking about the ultimates that you have to work with.
Still
to make
would
things
imagine
easy
it's
for
going to be an
you.
eco from FUT.
I think the surprise factor as well. This is what Zeus and
Sees
Mr.
the
Farland
wall
have always
again.
been able
I
to
do feel like
bring
with
as a
these rounds where
combo,
they
those
see the wall, I think
explosive
you've at
plays.
least
That's
got
what
to
worked for them in the last
clone
round.
that. Oh my
It's
goodness,
an
that is
aggressive
rough.
one that fails miserably. The rest of the team not even
I
able
did
to
not expect him to
capitalize
actually
Getsu
like stay there.
coming out with two,
Yeah.
but Yedajay and Mr. Farland have evened things up.
Oh, the
Pretty
cage
good
is
info,
falling
big
across. That's gonna
send
keep
over
Elite
towards
guessing
B.
whether he's already made it through. Prowler is sent in to confirm that information, and Martin realizes
Martin
the ult
keeps
isn't
his
needed.
keeps his
They've
ult for
already read
retake
that the
though. That might
rotate
actually
is
save them.
underway. Yedajay trips the wall as well, so there's no late round security for KC. They have to be worried about all of those angles, but they have made it here ahead of the push. FUT a little late, bringing this spike to sight. And if it's a one-by-one fight, Elite may have a real chance to just end this round here and
The
now. But
great
the ult is
Teo.
sent in,
Great
and he's
ult.
sent out of elbow, out of the round. Still one watching from up above. And what do they have to deal with it? Can't put a smoke in, instead just having to swing in, but luckily Abez was tight in the corner,
Shot.
not able to pick them
Dude,
until the
Abez
plant
is
was
popping
already
everyone from
down,
heaven.
and 2 versus 2 as a result. And Martin putting the dimensional drift into play to try to find these last players.
And they have the info on where the majority are for one side, and he's trying to garner it for his squad. 2 versus 2. Both players spotted, but it seems like
my
both
fault, I
players are gonna
complimented
end up
him in
losing
heaven.
their fights. FUT
Still,
climbing back into this
money's pretty
attack
good.
side.
I don't know how they
Well,
won
they've
this
made a
one though.
dent, but KC will
Yeta
still
J
be able to buy
did
comfortably
so
again.
much,
And what a way
really.
to turn things around. I think that Jet2J, we were speaking about him not being able to get the kills. Even
Okay, that's a
getting
spam
that
back
one
from
onto Martin
minimap.
a couple of rounds ago, and I think that it's given him the confidence back.
was the
And
great
also
Teo,
Mr.
and then
Farland
the
is making
Jet2J
sure they're playing
kill
backside
Arch.
is just
And the Teo was good. They-
2 rounds, they're on B. And we absolutely know
Okay.
that when we're speaking about FUT
Alright,
and
normal
speaking about
timeout.
being
This is nice to
confident,
see.
being comfortable, everybody is
Striker,
going to be
Striker
cheering
CS, thank you so
up
much, dude. I
each other
appreciate that.
players.
Thank you for the
I also wanna
53
talk back to
months.
something that was
That's
mentioned on the
madness,
desk
mate.
about
Thank you for the tier 1.
best
I
Teo
appreciate
player
that.
within our
Thanks for all the
region.
support.
I will say for me,
A long, long time.
utility-wise, Mr. Farland actually is my favorite. I think he's so incredibly good at putting players into position, but also
He's
making
a chill
things
event.
very
Nah, he's getting
awkward
him- he's
for
getting
other
him
players.
hyped
I
up.
think we go onto
Good.
the defensive side
Still,
of this
dude,
map
look
in
at how
particular,
much money
and he was the
K-Corp
guy
have.
that
Like,
proved
even
me
with
that
the
Teo
buy, they're
was
still
gonna be a
good,
game
losing
changer
2 in a
because
row.
of his plunder now, because of how much space he's able to take, and I think you're witnessing it here. In both the last 2 rounds they've won because his utility has given them an advantage from a position where they were at a disadvantage.
Close
That's
to Harbor
something
roll,
that
they still
I
have
think you look
Astro
at
ult.
any other agent, there are times where that's possible, but to do it consistently is so much more difficult. Is he 4 and 9 on the board? Sure. But 3 kills have come off his
If
utility
Footloose, should we
alone.
be worried about them?
I
Not
think we saw that as
really.
well.
I think that K-Corp have been
in a lot of the
looking better
games
and better,
recently,
to be
looking at
honest.
Lotus
I think this is like a
especially, you'll see
relatively
Tejo's not having that much
even
impact when it
game.
comes to the individual
FUT probably
duels in some of the
should be
games
winning.
recently. But it's not about that.
Yeah,
It's
But
not
I
about
wouldn't-
KC are
control of
favorites
the map.
here, but with how they've been improving
Well,
week
it's
to week, this is
not
not like.
Not quite.
You
Yeah, I
should
wouldn't
expect
say it's a giant
top
I
upset.
think Yedajay was
Yeah.
closer.
A Monkey Enjoy with the
Behind the
21 months. Thank you so much. Which is my favorite team to watch at the moment. Probably Boom, maybe. Boom's really fun to watch right now. Just because I wasn't really expecting him to look this good. Yeah, I'll probably say Boom.
Find some information. But that info is going to be obtained across the map as pressure
Liquid,
is
I
applied
like the
on
Liquid
Martin and
games.
through the double doors.
Paper-X games are always fun just because
At this point, there's no real space.
You
for
did-
Lotus
Because
to
you
do
annoy
that.
prod.
you don't know what you're gonna get.
With all the things that we've
MIVR,
seen
yeah, I
happen
like
in
that
all-
MIVR
in-
games
decide to
still.
double down and just try and see if KC want to go back towards those fights.
Okay, K-Corp on this one playing super passive early on, but they still have early B info. Got TP out of there.
Utilizing all of that hard
We
utility
got,
towards the door. So if you
I
want
kind of
to
thought they
try
were
and
going to go a little
aggressively
bit more
swing it, you're gonna
aggro,
get
but
slowed. And even though that
let's see.
slow is not much, if you're trying
We've got
to
no
swing as a
ults for
team,
FUT at the
it
moment,
just
and
makes
honestly,
it
their
a little
no
bit
ult
more
rounds
disjointed.
haven't looked
He
great.
has used up the majority of it though, but that delay puts FUT down to just 40 seconds as they look to build into a site where all of the thorns currently lay. They're going to be slowed down a lot on this entry.
Especially late round.
Okay, so Getsu has like 3 stars to retake this and ult. Like this Astra util should be the one that wins them the round, really. How does he want to do it?
Late round if needed as the plant comes in from FUT. Mr. Fallen previously
Keep an eye on the luck.
shredded as soon as the spike hit the ground. This time he'll be able to retreat and set those salvos up. KC want to get ahead of the problem. Already picking off Zeus before he can fall back. Spotting
Oh my goodness.
Porter. Oh, spamming in fact, but Sam gets nothing but
Well,
his trouble. Up goes
Astra
the
ult
Cosmic
goes
Divide,
in,
and
it only
that's the
cuts off
signal for
once, so
Yedege.
you would
He's
imagine
gonna
smoke
start
on
his
spike in a little
rounding
bit.
his way all the way around.
Cove, but
Almost
no
like
one
he was
taps
delayed.
it. Dude,
Delay,
everyone's dead.
all in the ground. Oh, the spam's giving Yedege away, and he can't stop the defuse from there.
Holy,
That
I mean,
could
they had
be
to play in
fight
front
that
of the
game, but
Astra ult.
instead, the round
Yeah,
was
I was
already
about to say
lost.
the Astral can be bad for them because
Again, I
Cypher
love
could just
the way
accelerate
they
without making any
combine
sound, but then
their
they just
utility
won all
to
of the
just make all
duels.
of these
This
fights
guy had to
more
stay
fun.
alive though,
An
the B main
abundance of
player. He's out here
smokes,
dueling.
Observer's nightmare.
Yeah.
The Cosmic Divide to force them forward into positions where you're going to battle from. The Cove to make players have
I think
to go
FUT have
in
only
towards
won
that
the
spike.
pistol on
And
A,
by that
and then
point,
every other
well,
time
you're
they
narrowing
came
things
to this
down
site,
to
they've
2
lost
or
the round.
3
They
angles
only
in
look
FPL
good when they
rather
have
than
ults.
an abundance of
As
them
well.
as you would normally in this site retake.
I love the awareness that we're seeing from KC. This is probably what a lot of what we were seeing on that first round that actually was never the first round, but it happened, but it actually never happened.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
EMEA
because,
production is
we saw
failing in
KC that
quality.
was
What do you
very
think about the
passive, that
EMEA
was
trophy?
already
I mean, the EMEA
expected
trophy last year
of
was horrendous,
all
but this year it looks a little bit
visitors
better.
that we're speaking,
I would
the
say
smokes,
that
the plan coming down, and
we
already thinking of how to battle
confuse,
from within the
like,
site. And even
depending on
though
what the issues
FUT
are, we
have
don't really know
requested
if it's
clear
like
time,
server issues
there
that
are
might
things
be out of their
that
hands.
they've
I'm not
changed
entirely
that
sure.
they're doing better.
But in
For
terms of the
example, we're
production and
speaking
stuff, like
about
the
them
actual
going
production of
onto
the show
Arts,
they
and
put
even
on
when
is
they're looking
normally
back,
better
when
than
Jet2
most
was going to
regions.
put that camp, Mr. Fallen went with it.
Especially when you're
Taking
looking
those
in-game.
2v1s,
I also
Given
give
that-
them
potentially
credit
always having
for
a
the
refrag
content that they
is
put out when
definitely
they
a good
do
sign.
have
We
those
expect
tech
to see
pauses, because both the
from a
casters and
team
the
like
desk is
KC,
great at
sorry,
are
from
great
but
at
then
See,
when
I think they
KC
lack in that.
were
I think
speaking
the
about
Pacific
Yasuo,
has the
you
best
know,
stuff
has
for that.
that flank.
Pacific's
The only
incredible
reason
when they
why
get delays.
Sadak
Yeah,
looks
Pacific is
and
incredible.
But
Yeah.
Pacific's
Wait, is
unreal for actually
having that
having
Cosmic
like
Divide. They
loads
have
of content to
every
fill gaps
single
with.
tick in their box.
That's true, yeah.
But like EMEA
I'd
in
say as
game, I
well,
think is the
one thing with
best.
KC
It's
throughout
kind of
this
on par with
season is
China.
I don't think there's been too many games where we have the majority of those superstars. Like they picked up a lot of players that were
Pacific,
very
yeah,
good in
Pacific
their
have the best
own
like
positions. We've
content
swapped a
for
lot
sure.
of roles around to try and fit things in, but you look at the scoreboard right now, and other than Elite having a bit of a quieter performance,
He had his
everybody
first
else.
round.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, okay. But everybody else has been really good so far. So it's a dangerous time for FUT. Obviously, we talk about the value of
We
trying to
figured
get
the
first in that
4-hour
group,
delay
but
and
more
bleed
importantly,
T1. I mean,
the
they
burden of
learned
being
from that though.
fourth. It's
Like
a
that,
single
you gotta judge it year
elimination
by
match
year
if
in
you
terms of what they
finish fourth in
learn.
your group.
And Pacific now, honestly, you probably have like
The least
Con-
tech pauses.
content that maybe lasts like 2-3 hours to actually cover all of their delays if it happens.
Looking a bit more towards
So-
the extremities this time, seeing Yedege sign out of captain. It's just a few pixels away from being picked off by Martin.
lovely
Zeus
shots.
to give away the opening duel. Sadak
Dude, got a little
in that
jump peek
shot.
on there as well to
Martin
get
gets an
info.
opportunity of his
Prowler
own.
missed over
There's a
towards
land
A,
this
so
time.
does that mean that he wants to try
Sticking
take a
around.
luck timing and
Again,
bring his
Crash.
team back? Don't really know
Infected
how
his
Yes
teammates
J wants to
could
play
make
this.
it. Could make that
I
call
feel like they need to go
force
back
Ada
here,
captain
but they have to push
forward,
this
but
op off.
Ada won't fall for the bait, at least not for now. Now it's a
Okay, no
rotate
matter
back.
what happens here, they just have early info and no one heavy hits from
They haven't
here.
been clearing out any of this
So-
Spice utility from Elite, even if he has been having a
K-Corp
rough
look
game
really in control.
statistically. Every time they enter this site, they're met with thorns, which do damage and
30
delay
seconds
you
left.
severely in terms of that time. 25 seconds to make their move. There's now 3 players on this side. They also have the stun, potentially even the grab one. They're going to try and swing off the back of it. Elite does well. Sugetsu in tandem, and that clock is now ticking very fast against FUT, but they find the openers.
Hold up.
Both kills incredibly
They can get the
quick.
spike and
They're gonna
plant.
get the spike back.
Yeah, they have
Fast flood goes in.
Already in. It'll reveal them and
Dude,
stun them up.
Yetajay is
Somehow
doing
Yetajay
work.
survives the shot from the operator, so
Damn,
desperately-
Yetajay, that's a mad round from him. Was it the fade eye that got him the kill backside, or did he just spam him?
Unbelievable display from
He
Yeah,
did
there
it.
was the double
Unreal.
fade eye. There was a fade eye scene too.
But I thought that was like a lot earlier, right?
And Yetajay even
Like
steps
he did
behind
the
wall
fade eye,
for
they
a
didn't
moment.
get
You
kill
think
off of
that's
it,
the
and then he's just
opportunity.
spamming
If
later.
not to catch him going back
He
through,
also
so
got
not
hit
that
by an
plan.
op.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you're
pretty
right.
pretty much off the fade
He got
eye.
hit by an op.
Yeah, but it's
Oh no, yeah, this was the second kill then. Damn, he did
felt
so much.
invincible.
There you go.
Yeah. For him, it was absolutely nice. I mean,
I like this extra peek that he's gonna do there as well.
For the last one, and of course,
I didn't even realize that shot hit.
So high.
He positioned well though, like even if the diffuser went down, he's still swinging on the 1 second to make sure he gets the trade. If he gets the last round, at least the only ult in play, and maybe the only ult we see in this round. Yeah, it feels like it.
I'm Mitch.
Weird, Tom, your voice
Dude,
sounds
bro's doing unbelievable though. Gets an extra bit of info.
Wow.
He knows that Aves
Absolutely
is super
no
low
need for
HP.
that. At the record show, that violation was unprompted. KC, 6 rounds. Let's see if the FUT can equalize by the time they close this one out. The half has 1 more round to play with Aves tagged up already. The defenders
Okay,
of
they
the B side
tell.
could be in trouble.
Big flash.
The Arsenal being
Oh,
brought
that kill is
over
everything.
to a lead.
That kill is the whole round, by the way.
FUT, they're
Yeah.
not able to stand a chance in that first fight. You've still got the wall to break on through. That's going to isolate one of these players, leaving out a captain on his own.
still. We've already seen massive rounds from him already.
No, they don't.
Oh, he hit that.
As he swings back around, leaving
Dude, the individuals are going crazy on foot. We got a 4K from Yetajay, 4K from Atta.
But they go in even.
I don't know why Sadak is looking connector. Like, was there time for FUT to even go there? One of them was walled off in B main.
Definitely showing that they have the resilience and they have
Oh.
the individuals to be popping off in this moment.
Unbelievable. Adam Captain was thrown to the wolves there, but he came
here.
back leading the pack. Phenomenal. That's
Why
going
is
to
he
get
looking
the
back?
spirits of the FUT fans.
Wait, he's looking
high.
behind him?
Actually check
I mean-
with our FUT co-streamer Rage as Yinsu.
Probably
expect
not, but
me-
they
I
still
expect-
didn't know where one is, so you got to be on top of it.
Great
yeah.
time to be a FUT fan, of course. I'm now joined by Rage. Now, you had a lot of energy just now. The last couple of rounds from FUT were absolutely fantastic. So, tell me about that first half. How you doing? How's your heart beating?
My voice is already broken almost. I'm already shaking. You can see my head. I'm already shaking. The match right now is beautiful. I was waiting for a long
Yeah,
time
then nothing
Carmen
showed,
to
okay.
play against them because they're my friends. We know them, all together. Carmen,
didn't fuck
Carmen
that,
told
alright.
ensemble. And yeah, playing against them is always nice. It always feels bad, because I feel like I'm betraying them. But it's all.
You
Also,
gotta back your boys.
of course.
FUT is your boys. they're your
Yeah, of course, all
boys.
day, all day. But yeah, it's nice to play against them. I'm very happy to see, and it's very tight right now. So
Yeah, and speaking of your boys, I know that you're a bit of a jet opper yourself. You like to pick up the op. You like to play duelist. Now, your boy Zeus doesn't really do that. So, what are your opinions on them picking up a duelist player that doesn't op?
Yeah, honestly, I already asked him about it, and he just says, I want to headshot, I want to aim at the head, but I'm like, if you play OP, you can also be annoying. He knows how to play OP, but my dream is to see him like, being 50-50, like headshot people and play OP as well.
A good balance.
Of
A
course,
good
exactly,
balance.
yeah. But the way he's doing right now, it's very good right
But on the other side, the Martine op on that first half was kind of
Exactly.
destroying
Yes.
them, right?
Yes, I was talking about it. Like he has a big impact wherever you go. Like when you see an OP, you're always scared to fight against it, right? And Martin is doing insane right now with the OP. So
Yeah, we'll see maybe Zeus surprises us, because if you play Chamber, you gotta know how to op.
Absolutely.
So he probably does know how to do it. Now, we heard from Mr. Farland previously, he doesn't think that he's the best Tejo player in the league. What do you think about Mr. Farland's Tejo?
as I said to him yesterday, personally, I think he's very humble guy.
He's too humble, maybe.
Too humble, yeah. He's very insane. Like right now, for me, he's like top 3 aimer in the world as a leader.
Oh, 100%. OG frag in IGL. Yeah, he was doing it before
For me,
other
he's insane.
people.
But his Tejo is very good. But I love the fact he's so humble,
And lastly, and not least, there's a lot of FUT fans in the crowd as well. We've seen them. They're very hyped. So could you help me hype them back up as we head to the second half?
Okay, sure.
Give me some energy.
Okay. Hey, FUT! FUT, brother! I want some scrimmage, guys! Some scrimmage, come on! Some scrimmage, guys! Whoa,
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Let's send this
Damn.
back
This guy
to
is
our
so hyped.
casters and see if
Fair
FUT
play.
can close us out.
You did great.
Well, that's the
She
question
asked
on
and he
everybody's
delivered.
minds here.
Can't ask
Neck
much
and
more than
neck
that.
coming out of the first half, but what a
Imagine no one
resurgence,
screaming.
like
I
you
mean,
said,
no one
they
was at the
have 4 out of
beginning.
the last 5
He
rounds,
just carried on
fallen
shouting.
into FUT's grasp, and well, it has looked very good, especially out of Captain popping off
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true.
We thought he was
True.
isolated, left for dead, but he came
this
back
one?
and clutched it out. Now it's KC's attack side.
They
though,
won
and
over
this
towards
can be a
middle in terms of swing. Wait,
sight to behold.
camera spots.
exactly.
Do we
were
even
speaking
flash off
about
this?
the
Flash
harbor, we
close,
also
fade
saw
ID.
there in fact, yes, Sadak
I'm not even
knows
sure
a
they
lot
would get a
about the
kill off
harbor, knows
this,
a lot
but
also about micromanaging it, but it was not before EMEA.
what do I know?
Sorry, before EMEA, he had not played it himself. But now we're
They've
seeing
used
a
that
different
pistol
phase.
before.
We already saw a little bit of
With the-
utility,
with
FUT?
but no movement on the side of
No,
FUT.
they had the
I promise you guys, the pieces
they
are
had, they had
working.
the one from
Is
back
that
like
from
man.
keep?
Yes,
Yeah.
Unless they played it again.
for now.
If this studio goes red after this, man, we're gonna be having words.
Please.
I'm going to start questioning if Pansy has
Okay, well the camera can't
what
spot anymore.
to just curse our cast.
I have the spike.
That's not better. I'd do it for free. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that one. That makes me feel so much better about myself.
You reckon it's
Nonetheless,
Teva over the
Mr.
top?
Farland
That makes
already
way more
spotting that
sense.
Additional pressure. Has the salvo online, has the stun available as well to slow them down. And they're both going to look to sit towards that backside position. There you go. That's that additional delay.
Hey, yo, champ.
Okay, 30
left on the
seconds.
clock, a rotation already coming
3
in from
people
Zeus to
here.
join
Mr.
them.
Farland's an
Mr.
absolute
Farland wants to try and beat
madman,
it
but
here,
he's
and
been
they're
rewarded with it.
expecting the
Really
smoke.
nice.
It's a
Dude, they're talking about him
round
being a
director
frag in
of the
IGL and he does this.
He
Next
may not
round.
think he's one of the better aimers, one of the better Teos.
Yeah, proving the point.
Oh, I question what KC think at this point.
Well, they think the round's gone.
They
12
think they
seconds.
have a spike to retrieve in 10
Oh my
seconds.
goodness.
4 players to run.
Oh, dude, it's unlucky. He won the round though, mate. He did great.
Up on the board.
That's 3 in a row.
Yes.
Got jealous of Ada Captain in the previous round.
Dude,
You
it's
know, the best
non-stop,
part is, the humble guy that he is,
non-stop
he's
hero
probably gonna
rounds
say, "That
for
was
FUT at the
Ada
moment.
Captain, great smoke."
Yeah, from 3 different players, so the 3
Yeah, get it,
hits
Jay.
back-to-back.
Jay
Then
Atta,
Ada
Mr.
Captain,
Fallon.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Fallon. That's absurd.
Yeah, exactly. And we were speaking about the harbor, right? And we saw that wall, that height being used.
Surely the server lagged, right?
From Sadak. And
On this
that was
one?
the trigger
Yeah,
to
sadly not
send
on
in
this.
the salvos,
They
and
just didn't
also
expect
for
him to get in the
also
smoke
just
so
Yeah,
fast.
there's no way.
putting
That's like
himself
a
in a situation
Yeah.
that you
play.
eventually
Yeah,
will
yeah.
smoke
Es-
around
Es-
Captain.
Especially with the
He has
time
most
so
to just
low,
go,
like
this is the play.
you,
This is
most
exactly
people here
what
would just
how I can
be
get
playing
the
for
most
delay.
out of this situation, and definitely a 4K is the most.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of IGLs at the moment that when things go bad, will try and put the rounds on their back. I
Oh
think Mr.
my
Fallon is one of
goodness.
the few I don't mind. He genuinely has the
It's
individual
non-stop.
skill to back it up. I'd say
There's a
pretty
great
good.
time of the drone as well. Actually clears
This guy's
everything.
good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
he might
That's the mini I'm
feel like they
referring to.
went over towards spawn. So even though he clears close,
I've seen him in ranked at 4
there
AM.
still definitely is a time that someone could have got
correct,
over
that
towards here.
Neither of his opponents either. He always goes missing.
Until they're 11-3 down. 7-6. FUT on the defensive side. They put a round on the board, and now it should be the easy conversion. But this is where KC were able to disrupt the flow of the game in the previous half. It was Sadak
Double kill
popping
trip.
off with a little 2-piece to finish it off. Abez getting more than he should have over on long. Now they're on the attack, grouped up. Safety in numbers, perhaps. Spams don't land on anyone. A decent start. Sadak up to his old tricks, but he's only good for 1. And it should be housekeeping from this point. I like the little crossfire that they were
I was
attempting
gonna
to put
say
into
Tever on the
place.
floor
Getsu
there
and
to
Abez
see if he's actually
Cracks, give me a
over
4K.
there.
nice from Sagetsu, a little more.
Whoa,
of the
whoa,
damage
whoa,
would be
whoa,
felt,
whoa,
and it
whoa,
got a
whoa.
little bit
Dude, I was
closer
looking at the
I saw the
HPs.
world.
Yeah, I was looking at the HPs like, hold up,
Lord.
that one.
They
What I'm
survived.
gonna say is
Okay, so they
the
win.
KC
Okay, so it's
classic
double
stunts
pistol,
are going
and then they
through
managed
the
to
roof right
win
now.
What
the
they
eco on
Might
this
have
one.
to
They
get
didn't do it
just to
last
see
time.
if it works.
Yeah.
I think it might be more than
Good
just
damage
the
from
skin
KC
tone.
Yeah,
What is
Yeah.
that?
Armors,
I mean, yeah.
3 guns.
Yeah.
the play.
What are you trying to say?
It's the players. It's the skin.
I
I'm
told
saying
you,
you're not
I'm-
as
I'm-
good as
Are you
them.
saying
You-
would
you-
you buy the
Did
case?
you do
Absolutely,
forget?
that's not what I said.
I was
That's
sat here.
2-1 on the
Two
pistol.
one.
Oh, okay, I see.
Today. I do something
forgot we're
that,
including
you
that
know,
one.
try and sell some bundles. And comes in and goes, well, it's not the skin. It is the skin. It's the skin. Buy them all.
100%.
We're speaking about the bonus now for FUT. Mr. Fallen
Let's go.
with a Bucky
Let's go.
and a
Just
dream,
keeping it.
and 1 away from his ult. So
Hey, he's hiding in smokes. What other gun would you want?
Dude, the Bucky might actually be incredible here.
based.
Oh, they're coming his way. Chance! Mr. Fallen with 1.
Dude, no
Stunning
greed on
close,
this.
the fallback salvos to be
No
sent
greed.
home.
Ult's good.
It's gonna be sent
Ult's
through.
really
It's
good.
gonna force
Oh
the
my.
Bucky! Mr. Fallen! He's not even
Doesn't even
taking
want to
the
upgrade. He's got the
weapons
best
on the
gun
ground.
right here.
He knows what he wants, and it's another
you dare.
Bucky kill. Decoy sent through on the flash.
Yeah, go on. That's so messed up.
Riot, are we watching this?
That's so messed up, man. The first big buy round who gets a Bucky, that's actually my IGL right here. This was sick. Dude, this ult was incredible.
The ult in the middle as well.
There's no way.
He took the decoy and the fire in one. Oh my.
Yeah, but he's definitely not the best.
He had no shield in this round, by the way.
Yeah, dude, the Bucky's so strong, man. That's what I mean about shotguns in this game. The maps are designed for shotguns. It's so risky to have them so cheap and so good. I've never seen anyone playing this pos though. Stun spam. It's gonna be one shot no matter what. It's sick.
You guys can shoot. They definitely can.
Supposed to get an ace.
Yeah.
Mr. Farlin has to up him with an ace from a Bucky. Martin, well, he was going to try and bring something back.
Dude, they're just pumped up. Look at him. 3 bullets. 2 bullets. No bullets. Okay, they actually managed to... Ooh, I like this from Cracks. Pushes fast so they didn't get a gun. Still pretty close.
Overzealous in this round. A little overconfident. And wow.
Yeah, they got a gun.
Gonna come in, KC, for bouncing back after that previous round so quickly. We're
gonna have a lot for the retake.
Rifle for Aves, but low HP, elite.
Yeah, I think I like this from Aves, trying to get early.
Honestly, post plant here, great
early info, at least get a shot off.
Online to play with an Aves with low HP, he wants a bit more, and that was deathly close, grazing the players, but not quite.
Also creates a lot of pressure that might be close to make some UC too early.
A hunt as well online for Aves to play behind smokes. Well, there are none either. FUT have to just step
double
both Razor Vines on the spike. It's going to be time delay.
They got no vision block.
Before they'll have a chance.
He could seize them both behind the pillar, put them low, but it's just down to time. No, he's going to check close. Was a little bit nervous about that position. Spike tapped. Horn utilized.
That was nice.
Shot from Elite.
Wow.
This is going to be an immediate
no
swing
time.
back, an important round to
Really
take.
nice round from K-Cop in the end.
The mental completely obliterated, but an immediate response and a pay safe card. Thrifty. We've hit them all this game.
Well, if the individuals don't kill multiple, it's like they win.
Very important for them after the round with the Bucky. After us going insane, it is very easy to lose your mental and to think, what the hell was that? It is so good to see that the response from that is being very fast, even though they have that weaker
like
weapery
most
to
of
see
these rounds
if
coming
FUT
down
are
to the
still
hero plays
celebrating.
I mean, they all are. If you look at the FUT rounds, it's either someone getting a 3 or a 4K and then just all rounds. They don't actually win by V-buys without like playing together.
Who knows?
But if it was Mr. Farlin, check him PC.
Yeah, whatever, whoever swapped that one in.
To be fair, it was all on camera and we saw it. It was a Bucky and, you know, like, we saw everything. Do you think?
He's got some sort of an implant in his brain. I don't know what's happened, but the switch has been flicked. But for KC, an immediate response, a necessary one after losing that third round and a half, and a timeout called here to steady the ship as they attempt to push right back up into the lead. But 2 rounds between them and FUT.
Can we change his name to Sir Fallen? Because I think that deserves a knighthood. If I'm honest, I think that's.
Maybe if they win. Maybe if they win the match.
The most British commentary I've ever heard.
Because of the Bucky, you get knighted.
How long has the FUT coach been with the team? Long time.
Get Charles out.
Long time.
Yeah, that's been nice. What, just
The whole time of franchising, right?
You could just eat the whole game.
I'm just double checking if I can be a knight as well.
I'll make sure I only get a 4K with the Bucky then. 9-7. 2 rounds in it as we get right back into the game.
Ace with an Odin, what did you get?
Deported.
Exiled? So that's why Mitch is Irish, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so which ult do they want to get here? Want to try to get Yoru ult early? Okay, lose over towards A, question mark created, insta reaction is pushed through over towards door with 4. Oh dude, they're just absolutely sending it. They got 1 kill trip. Double kill trip.
From FUT will come in perhaps a little bit too late. This is a pacey take that KC are going for. The pressure then applied onto Zeus. A flash around the back and a spam from Yedishe. That's done quite a bit of damage. And they're just waiting for that wall to fall. Zeus gets ahead of it. That Crack stepping in is put in the dirt. Zeus wants to.
That's a great jump out. Martin 5 HP as well. Insta ult with the kill.
But it's enough.
Reckoning. I was gonna say it will hold them back, but it's more so just.
It's still no
getting
plant,
it
and they
dancing.
have both the trips up.
The Astral Wall utilized
Okay.
to divide them from their opponents, but it's FUT. You know that there's going to be a temptation to play through this. The problem is they can't hear the spike being planted. They'll get the information from the top
How do
of
they
the
do
screen.
it? Salvos to like lock them in?
They still have an awful
Dude, there's so
lot
many
to do.
options with the
Luckily this
salvos
time,
there.
And a captain is still alive.
No, okay. Salvo's close to push them into the angle.
To play for this post man. Yetij had also used his camera to get some information onto site. The 3v3 in all the positions are
Does he have
favoring
a star
KC for
coming
this
up?
post plant.
There's nothing left to block
Yeah,
vision
there's
once the
that.
smoke goes down. Mr. Fallen's got one through it. That's a good start. Off the spike as it's already gotten to half. They want to force the fight.
Shot.
Sent out a captain claiming head. Sagetsu tries
Ooh,
to deny,
nice shots
but
from
doesn't
Ada.
get there in
Okay, this
time.
is
Without a
the thing
captain
that I liked here. There was
closing
like a
that
little
one
bit better than
out.
what K-Cop
Push
did. Is they
up
just
to double
all
digits.
started
The
facing.
gap back
Like
up
once
to
they realized the
3.
smoke was down, they
They are
didn't
on
just
their
try
way
and
to
stick
closing
it. They
out
would
this
just all
map.
duel in
Damage
together.
done to the economy of KC.
Yeah, the scary prospect.
Zeus
here
did
is the amount of
unbelievable, though.
ultimates that are
I feel like
already
if he
online for
doesn't-
FUT as well. We've seen
doesn't get those
the
kills.
impact that can be had with a Mr. Fallen Armageddon. Dimensional Drift as well would be the perfect combo. And a lot of close ultimates for KC, with orbs being in fairly favorable positions, especially on the A side of the map. But because of that, it seems like FUT want to try and face
But
them on it.
another A control. Dude, they have like the
Slowly but
best comp for
surely,
A
again,
control.
starting KC,
Yeah, like
taking
you
up
can't
mid,
fight this.
using that
Yeah,
proper
like yeah, you
utility
just can't fight
to
it.
get some
Like
pressure
if they want A control, you
for
just
some
gotta
of the
give it
fights,
to them.
but FUT have not been very eager to engage in these early duels. Happy to do so on their own terms, as you were mentioning, Tom. Cracks and Ada Captain already pushing through A.
They're a little bit
Also,
bold
you're-
against
you're
Eco.
FUT right now. Ada Captain.
At least they're doing it together.
Mr. Fallen in the same boat. I imagine retakes would be a serious option.
Almost lined up.
But they go
Did he get the
fighting,
gun out of
looking
there?
for those
No,
duels,
gun
and
down.
Sagetsu, sure he goes down. But with the weaker weapons, one-to-one trades, especially when you're on the attack side, you're not going to turn your nose at that. It's a decent start for KC. See if they can make a little bit more work.
I wonder if they got rid of the gun. I'm sure they did.
Oh, maybe he
hear
did.
you.
I can hear it.
They did, yeah, I can hear the shot.
Dude, I was looking here to see if it would show me the gun.
And already
Wait, Cracked did
spotting
incredible.
that push through our
I'd be so scared if I was KC. I see Mr. Fallen and I'm like, guys, run.
would he even bother using it here? You already have a player advantage. Sure, there's a single gun. Okay, well, there's no
It's a
opportunity there.
massive kill.
Martin's
He
found
can
an
pick up the
ultimate
gun
as well.
now.
That'll be information.
Shoot me.
Trying to get his teammates the kill. And
Really,
that's exactly
really
what will
nice.
happen.
Damn,
Another
really
advantage
nice. My
found.
team
In
did
fact, the
awesome
lead's
on this
still
ult.
going, and the only man left is Zeus.
1 against 3. A lot of clutches for FUT. A lot of big plays. His teammates have led the charge in so many of them. This one looks so difficult. Even getting rid of some of that utility. Look at what's waiting on long. 2 players stacked up.
Very,
And it's
very
Elite
nice.
to
Solid
claim
shots from
another
Elite.
in
This
very
is a
slow
lovely
start
ult.
in that first half, but heating
lovely
up
ult
just
from
in time.
Martin.
The gap back to 2. And KC climbing back into it.
He's the one that hit the
Around,
guy
I didn't expect to see
through
much from them.
Yeah,
the wall
absolutely.
as well, the
purchase
sheriff, right?
was not the best for
Yeah,
them. We were
yeah.
seeing some sheriffs, some stingers, and we were also seeing, getting rid of the gun, making sure that they were not going to be able to play with it. In the meantime, Mr. Fallen did get that kill. But as I was saying, KC baiting that plan, trying to bait that ultimate.
Dude, you had to J
so they
tunnel
could
vision
work
work
against
so
it. It
hard
wasn't
there.
even needed after getting the kill on the Turkish IGL. And that didn't look like Sadak was very happy after getting that round.
And does he know they won? Is he aware of that?
I feel like FUT so far has been incredibly
Mid eye with the
poor
wall. Create
versus
pressure over towards
low
here.
buy
Dude,
rounds. A lot of their individual
one hero
prowess,
gun.
fighting things on their own and not necessarily
Gonna
having
get
that
incredibly
synergy and
close.
retakes has cost them so many a time. Wanting to get ahead of things, maybe even getting a little bit cocky. And I guess when you see how many multi-frags they have, you can kind of understand why. But versus the pistols, value really doesn't seem to be there. In this round, ults are very good. That's the main thing we're looking at for FUT. And of
Okay,
course,
so
that
question mark created over
singular
towards him
invested
with the
rifle
jump
for
spot
Zeus.
and the fade
course, the
ID. They
benefit
clear
of
this
it
out,
just
but
Use it.
kind of
not
warning
playing
to
the
K-Cop
operator
that they've
so
cleared
much
this, so they
is-
speed up a little bit.
They can afford to do this without losing too much.
Very quick rotations also on the side of FUT because of having that
Do a kill
weaker
trip.
weaponry.
4 passing here
And of
now.
course, with all this noise, they need to do something.
Yeah,
A
they
little
made the
bit
right
scary
read.
for K-Cop.
Prowler catching 1.
They don't really have aim in control
KC
either.
may look to pounce on
Stayed
that.
there.
Well, that's not going to do much.
I
No,
saw.
not taking anything away. I'm really
that's
not
a
sure
spike.
the logic
Oh
there.
god,
Spike
and
goes
two
deep
have
into
pushed
his
through and
throw.
given them guns.
Jumping
Oh
through.
boy,
This is
this
messy.
is an absolute
VCT, that's
disaster
full control
class.
So far. But now they're being controlled. The ultimate of Mr. Fallen sends them back.
Yeah, good
runs
luck.
this clock down. 14 seconds. Spike behind enemy lines. And a cosmic divide
Oh,
blocking
this
them
was
off.
an
There is
absolute
no way in.
disaster. I
And
mean,
so
FUT
all
did
they
really
can
good
do
to
is
clear the
look for
info
a
over
way out with
towards
these two
B,
weapons.
and then they just kind of
And a bit of a
ran
loss for what
head,
we just
like full
witnessed.
into a
If this was an
stack,
eco, I don't mind that.
and
KC
then
put in,
didn't
go back,
really
whatever,
push
but
back a side
Spike leading the
together.
charge.
They wanted
Weapons
to
up
try
against
capitalize off
pistols,
of the
and
Vice
holster
because I
removes
guess they thought the like
rifles, but they
stingers
don't
and
have
stuff
anything.
were out, but as we could see, there was none. So the Vice ult didn't do anything.
Yeah, but of
That
course,
was-
as
that
we've
was a
seen, the replay,
flashback
I
to
wanna
the
see
BBL.
is
But like, what are they
Sarah
doing
going
here?
on the push
Like, what is
in
this?
with the span.
That's
Also
mental.
thinking about
as
Mr.
well.
Fallen
And
maybe
this.
having that ultimate again, trying to bait the plan, but leaving that spike there also trigger Mr. Fallen
That
to
is
use
one of
his
the most
ultimate.
disastrous
All
rounds in
VCT
EMEA
falling
we've
in.
seen for a
Also
while.
Zui gets to using that cosmic divide to make sure that that spike was actually for the defense.
No, I mean, there were two of them at least that wanted to push, but it didn't go great. But yeah, Sadak's play there is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
Much better than the last.
Like, he wants to push back site, and I don't know if there was like a flash comm from his player. I didn't see it.
Looking like they're not going to
Well,
try
I think
and
there was because Martin
commit
was
off the back of
flashed.
anything, just falling back.
But you
with the
reckon he
advantage
flashed
they
himself?
I'm
I
gonna be
think
honest,
so.
it seemed like that last round was just
'Cause
a
I'm pretty
mass
sure at that
misread.
point
Like, I think the use of the steel
Zeus
guard
wasn't
shot
there yet.
was just them thinking maybe there was a full investment there and there wouldn't be a gamble.
They were scared of the
I
bucket.
think that when it's that close, no, maybe not the bucket, but when it's that close to
Hey, it would take
the
it away.
score, I don't know. That's the kind of thing that you can misread.
I think Mr. Fallen's on the site. Quick, use the steel guard. It's a low buy. That bucky's gone. Easy round, but well, it didn't prove to
He
be.
at least can't ace us with a shorty.
A
Well,
great
that's what
fade
you
eye.
think. You might regret that. Zadak, this time he gets the better of them inside.
He
the cove.
does the exact same for
Inside and not
his
outside.
own
That's the
cove.
key piece of information. Dive back from Martin.
Big stun?
Down.
Oh, that's
Okay,
unlucky.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fallen
like the
trying to make
hesitation,
use
man. He
utility,
lost his
so that one
timing of it.
doesn't work out. And, well, KC looked
I
a
guess
lot
now we
better
saw
in
what
this
was the
round
plan
up
last
against
round,
what should
but-
be more resistance.
A little bit more of the same plan, right?
I mean, at least
That
there
it,
was
the
multiple
synergy.
of them.
The difference in synergy
Yeah.
there was huge.
And this
because
round they
before,
actually beat
I think
the
just
A
when you're
default
up
from
against a low
FUT.
buy,
Martin
your
TP'd
opponent's
behind
much more
box,
likely
you
to
got
be
Zeus.
within your smokes, around the
Very early
coves,
on.
like in odd positions, whereas when you run this strat
Verse
again
and
and again and
the-
again,
I
in
mean,
your
FUT are just
cracks,
gonna go
you're
aggro
gonna
A
have
now.
a rough idea of where people are going to be
Yeah.
when you push this
They're
through
gonna clear
together.
behind
So,
Like the
box.
pistol?
sure,
Have they
why
got
not?
to play
Which one?
twice?
Yeah,
Like they got
yeah.
to play it twice. It's not many options. There's not many times in life that you're going to get to play the same pistol twice. With
Then
a
again, I
different
say
outcome.
that the second one went much worse.
I was curious as well, they use the same utility. I suppose not many teams go into like, what do we do if we have to play this a
They just
second
want
time?
it to be fair,
How should we
you know?
swap it up?
As in, we want clean and fair, you know?
Well, they didn't, but they got the second, and that's
Yeah.
put them in a decent spot in the first half, but now they're climbing right back up after a big response towards the end of the first half from FUT. 4 out of 5
There's a nice
last
force through
round.
from them.
KC putting one on, losing the next. One on, losing the next. It's been back and forth for the last couple.
Martin is
They're
such a
2
criminal
behind.
with the
We now
shorty.
need to see them start
Martin, yeah, his
stringing rounds
Yoru,
together.
his Yoru's
Zadak
always been good.
reckoning
It's just they had a
his
slow
ultimate
start this year.
online for Harbor.
The only one.
That's the only one on the server, indeed. So perhaps that can bridge the gap slightly between the two. FUT have looked good, though. They've always been able to
Harbor
fight
ult
back in
means
these
we're
rifle
gonna
rounds.
But they just disrespect that ult completely. Like the amount of times I've seen someone just step,
But
jiggle back into the same
even though they're
angle, and I
ahead,
think it's
they're a
one
little bit in
great
trouble if we just
information.
look at ults.
I mean, if
They
you're
don't
playing
get
against
ults for a long
something that you need
time.
to be prepared for, right?
Yeah.
Harbor ult goes in, it doesn't reach back a
Immediately
sight.
used, actually more
What is
so
this Harbor ult?
towards the spawn, but
Really
that does
deep.
mean
Co-
it's given a
covers-
lot of a gap
Covers
over
info
to
for the
Zeus.
split. It's kind of
Not a
cool.
player you can let go and miss.
Goes into the
Like, they've
open.
utilised
The only
to
thing it
just
doesn't
try and
clear is
clear
back
some
a
of those
sight, but
mid-positions that
it
they've
lets
had
the
problems
3
with
go
already
through and
getting
give some
full
info.
information
They
on where
wait
this
for it to
guy
see if
is,
it
but he
taps
still
anyone
manages to take
fast.
down Sadak.
It's at least one. The numbers on site, though, still going to allow a
Then they
planting
go late
cap
luck
to
here
beat
as
the
well.
Fights and the trades are at least found. KC doing well. The spike finally finds its way to the floor. The spams through the smokes in return, not going to land anything. Sugetsu does
Man, it was
well
a pretty
to provide
cool,
that bit of cover. But the spot that
pretty
they
cool hit.
planted in, it's not going to allow them to fall back to long.
Boy.
Sugetsu's keeping that control later on towards the laneway. He'll have a crossfire here with Martin. Once they step their way out, and it's looking clean. Captain
He
finds
went
one,
to shoot his
knows Martin
teammate.
is close,
Yeah.
but can't deal with him. And now escaping back with the gate crash.
Uh-oh.
Ult online.
Not a great
The
plant
gate
for him.
crash sent
Oh, he
back
thinks he's
into
still
yellow.
there.
That can be used just to cause a headache for Yedege, who even now is clearing out those angles. Good swing from Martin.
It's a lovely round from him. It's a really, really nice round. It's very calm with the salvos coming in as well.
For them. And Martin also one of the players that throughout the year we were
Man, he's a really good
him
Euro.
being in this Euro jail.
You know
I would
how,
say
like,
most,
a
if
couple of
not
days
all
ago
of
you
the
said
matches
all
that
the
he's played,
players are playing
he's
Euro
played with
like
this
it's a
agent
jet
and him
and are not
being
using...
able to find a
Yeah, he
couple
plays
of
Euro
kills
like a
here
Euro.
and also
He
being able to
plays Euro
play
like
from
a Euro.
much safer angle. Speaking about the layer and also of utility after that spike goes down, they're being very cautious, both of the teams, onto when to invest
Wilson down to an eco as well. Dude, he might be doing it. Might be doing it. As this ult, like we said, over towards FUT, they don't get their ults for a while. Zeus 2 away. Yes, J 1 away, but the big ones, pretty far away. They clear A main, insta TP over towards B. I mean, he could just call his team back over towards B here.
No, who's locking them up?
Gonna get really weird.
Yeah, of course.
They're so far though.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so I think they, I mean, they got so much time they can just wait.
Yes.
Just banging on the
They got to be
bar.
really aware that they probably think they push middle.
I like the wall used here by KC. And just trying to rob that information.
However,
And
Yusuf
on a
goes
round
in
like
for a
this, you
fake,
mentioned
it
it earlier
actually
when
pulls
FUT were on
off
that low buy, you're
work
likely to make those
really well.
over-rotations. You're likely to move as a pack when you see that contact.
Okay,
Wall
there's a
goes
nice
down,
little
they're
Prowler
ready to
clears all
pounce
of
on
this.
these
Rotate
players on A.
goes
They're
in, but
expecting Sadik to come
gotta think
running
they're a
through
little
Cove
bit too
any
late.
second.
Trying to min-max it.
And
They're gonna
instead,
get the
KC have gone
Astra
other
ult with the
direction.
plant.
They've already taken backside B control, and the plant should be easily secured.
Suigetsu has gotten that orb. If he gets the spike down, he will also have that cosmic divide in case they need it for that post plant.
Oh, I have a feeling they will not.
Yeah.
Bro, Martin, he doesn't want to lose. I'm telling you.
They know that if it gets
I'm
into
not
a
sure he's gonna let it
scenario,
happen.
They don't have the utility or the weaponry if those players are all sat back towards long. So they try and play in front. It didn't work this time.
Ada Captain good for one, but it doesn't change anything. Well, Suigetsu,
Well,
you know,
they're probably gonna go A main, get
for
Astra
the
ult.
upcoming rounds.
So,
To see that the rest of the
K-Cup
players
knowing
in
that, what are they
KC
gonna
now
do?
bringing things
It's
very,
not like
very
they,
close up
well,
together.
they could have the
11
Astra ult for
11
Astra
on
ult, and
this
you just
draw.
Astra
Guys,
ult when they're gonna
I know that
Astra
you
ult.
have had a lot
And then
of
you just play heavy
overtimes
sight.
this
They
year,
honestly
have you
might
not?
just fast speed
We've had
this.
quite a few. We've had some lengthy ones.
Yeah,
your
if you're
18s, 16s.
because you
That was
don't
good fun.
expect to
Normally
beat
on
their
sport,
A
that's
aggro
it.
default
Yeah,
anymore
normally
after
on
doing
sport.
the one
That's
play behind the
always been
box.
on
So you
split.
might as well just go aggro B, right?
It's a big time. He might even be talking about this here,
Thank you, Angel.
knowing that they're gonna go aggro against
You're
it.
probably here somewhere.
Like they honestly might let him have A control,
Looks like we could be on
get
track
the
for
ult,
another, you're right.
and then just go
11
aggro over
of
towards
11.
Cyber without the ult.
The winds have changed. Now it seems like it's
Unless
KC
they
who
want
are
to do that
poised
thing
to
where like
close this
you
one out.
Astra ult and then
3
you go
rounds in a
aggro
row. Their
through it.
struggle was to
Teams have been
connect
doing that.
consecutive rounds to get a follow-up. And
Yeah,
they've done that
they can do
now
that.
with 3 in a row. It's FUT calling a timeout, realizing that this map, a map in which they led for quite a while, since that end of the last half gave them that little bit of a
They could
boost.
really like the Harbor Fade Yoru.
Close the gap.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, now it's slipping
they
from
like
their
the
grasp.
Vice as well.
None
Like
too happy about
their
that.
whole
The timeout
their
comes
whole
to a close.
theory
You see
is
the last words of
like this
Geist
is the
uttered to
new
boys,
Sky,
the fist bumps are in,
and
the timer in game
they
already.
won
similar
with Sky,
Players will
Harbor,
two more
block
times.
somewhere off
They
flash,
go the distance,
get info for
hopefully
free.
you're not.
Great pressure.
Takes it in
The
end,
idea
as
is you
anyone's
use
guess.
Harbor to
I'd
create
say
like very
what we've
dynamic
seen so
spaces that
far
you clear very
is
easily
KC
with either
on-
the Vice
on
Flash or the
average
Fade
have looked like
utility.
the better team.
And then
FUT
you
have
can
had
also
way
aggressively
more
push with
hero
a
plays
Euro
and
Flash,
set
which
plays.
that works
So I
kind of
wonder
like
if
the
the
Sky
pause is for
utility
some
being
sort
used
of
for
set
that.
play, because otherwise I'm a little
Okay,
bit
so they
nervous.
know they're going for
Nice,
this
right?
orb,
Look at
and they just did a timeout.
players already building up outside A.
They know they're gonna get this. You know that the Astra. Oh, they go for the Yoru ult.
Again, but that is just to get Zeus at dimensional drift.
And an immediate rotation, the pre-round
They didn't
gate
take
crash being
too
put into
much
play, so
space
that
with
was gonna
it.
be a pacey
They
rotation
create a little bit of pressure.
as they
Flash
saw
in front to
serious
see
contact.
if they can take
KC,
it.
no control over A long, B long secured, even the laneway being watched by this camera. So
I
side of FUT have
think
quite
the
a bit of
plan
map
from
control to work with,
K-Cup
albeit they don't know
could have
about
been
B
a
long necessarily,
little
but that'll
bit
be spotted by
better,
Zeus in a
but
moment.
Same,
here we are.
same start that we've seen from KC, right? Or right again, just putting the hover utility onto mid, getting that control.
I feel like they just
then
let
making
them.
a
They
decision
took
after
mid
that. They've
control,
already lost
which you
over
pretty much have
40% of this
anyway,
round.
How nervous do you think they are stepping
and
through
let
this
them
door?
get the orb on
He's having flashbacks every
Yoru.
single time. Zeus instead is going to
Just
claim
clears
an
all of
awful
the
lot
main, so
ground. And I
they
think
pretty
about
much
it,
Okay,
go.
he can
a
just...
lot of it has revolved around sitting back passive in these positions. He gives up that control though and looks to try and support Yedajay.
They're trying to...
It's a problem that both players
Trying to
have to
fake,
back
but the problem is he
offside.
just cleared all of this, and no
That
one,
resistance seen KC wrap all the
no
way
one
around.
hits
Foot
B
have
site
realized
from
in just
5
the time.
here.
They've come back into
Priority
the A
on the
side, Mr.
signs.
Fallen will
You
still
got
be close by. In
Teo.
fact, he's already past that
Oh, they actually
cosmic
used
divide,
their util.
destroying some of the utility,
They
giving
might have
away his
owned them.
position. Out of captain
That's a
close
really
spot.
good
Now
actual.
4 players with a quick rotation from Zeus. The ultimate had been put into
Done
play.
deep, flash close to get
Information
through.
found earlier,
You
but
want a
they could definitely use
flashback?
it now. The
Dude, they
default
got no
will be
more
the one to try
flashes.
to claim it.
Oh,
Mr.
K-Corp have no
Fallen,
util.
good only for a trade. And look at the position. Oh, out of captain. The position of Aves, though. This was what drew my
Oh,
eye, but
they had
Crux
no
has caught
util.
him around the edge of the smoke. It's been round
I was
after round
looking
put
for
up.
everything of what they could
KC
use there. It
seem
was
to
a
have
tether,
full
that was
control,
it.
But now locked out by a cosmic divide. They know exactly where Sagetsu is.
Oh,
He
I
has to get
think
the
this was
star
a...
on, so he's got to
In terms
poke
of
his
like
head through.
barrier
And
down
captain
after a
rips it
timeout
clean
call
off
from
with a
K-Corp,
three-piece.
they've
FUT are up
really
to
lost
12.
this one heavy. Let him take an ult so easy.
I feel like, especially once KC
It's a little
wants to
confusing
get
because
to
mid is
puts
free
that
anyways
cosmic
if you're
divide
expecting them
down,
to go either
the
way, right?
first move from
I
Fallen is
don't.
actually push, and
I
the
think they
moment
thought it
where
was.
Aves
So
is
they
like,
thought
no,
something
no,
was
I
going to
don't
play
have
out
a
differently.
clean
I
slate.
don't know what
He
it
goes
was,
back
but
and wait until everybody's ready to
Maybe they
make
expected
this kind of
the
plays.
like
Also,
after getting the
position
orb they
that
would
Ada
actually push
had
out of
for
A.
Ada Captain had, to be
I don't know how you
making
can
those
be
kills, to
100%
put all
sure
that
that it's a
pressure
Yoru
back
ult they're
once
going to get,
was
but
so favorable for them. And then when we're speaking about
okay,
the overtimes, if
let's
FUT
see.
had not won that round, of course the economy would have not been the best for this one. So this is the only way that we could have had to the overtime.
Ultimates once again are close. Martin's dimensional drift has garnered them so much space throughout these rounds. That's where I'd expect the orb to go, but Aves being able to get that nightfall as well. Maybe
the free orb on A, it's just so nice for them. Okay, question mark over towards A, but they know they've taken it, so they're gonna go back. We don't get any early info over towards B. So
they showed their strength on it just the previous week.
okay, how do these two want to play it on site?
Bit of a difficult finisher up against FUT this time. One round to bring them to overtime, or to bring FUT.
Teo,
Choice with a map under their belt.
big Teo.
Who's going to try to be the difference maker up close? Good spray. Catches out
That
captain,
Martin's
the
done a
hero of the
madness
previous
though.
round, and took some
Clears
self
all of that
control.
space to get him back. Gets a dink as well.
Wow.
They're doing that thing where they've been told to go take the space. It's close, man. Look at the HPs.
Everybody's tagged. It's going to be a narrow margin
Oops.
by which we decide if this is OT or map 2.
Mr. Fallon's always stunning himself almost. Still
Still
no plant. 20 seconds. One bullet would take him down.
Making his way through Art, but they're ready and waiting for it. 20 seconds. The plant needs to be
15
secured, and that means a
seconds.
cross for Sadik, but he's found
Oh
one, and
my.
will finish it off, bringing us to round 25.
That
We're
was
going to
real close
overtime.
on this.
So it was true.
Dude, Martin, man. Martin's insane.
With you, it just
Martin and
the
Aves are
overtimes.
insane, no?
You do
This
the
map.
you do the sponsors.
Aves has also
you're
had
in
some
charge,
key
you're
rounds, and
here
his view has been
forever.
great.
Let's be honest, a few scripts.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been all I can notice is just Martin just dominating everyone.
Maybe I thought we wouldn't get the OTs. You know,
We ticked all the boxes today.
Yeah. That's where they're going to break records later today.
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying what records. Something will be broken.
Oh, listen, I'm chewing a few cables on my way out. Let me tell you, getting back at Lauren for that one.
2 hour, man. Yeah.
And yes,
It's
we're back into the
in
fray
theory,
with FUT moving
I'm
back
pretty
to the
sure.
attack side. We'll see
I
if
mean,
they
we've
can-
definitely had series that have ended faster than this one
same
map.
sort of spark they did towards the end of the first half. It was 4 out of 5. And a lot of KC's
Okay, they
game
do their
plan was
they do
around
their
either
wall.
deep control on
They
B
die,
or
but they
leaving
kind of
the
mess
vice
up their
there.
wall a
And
little
then
bit.
this
And what is
mid-free
that?
aggression.
Oh
Almost
my
got a
goodness!
taste
Look at the
It's a spam
damage.
through the doors for one, and as you said, Tom, Zeus is down to 35 HP. A phenomenal start to this round for KC.
Really couldn't hope for much more, just with a seemingly almost random spray through the door. I guess got a little bit of
Decoy breaks the
information maybe off the
wall.
back of
In
a
reaction to
prowler,
them
but
losing art, they want to
not
get
a lot
info
to
on
go
the
on.
sides.
Defensive
Obviously, if
side,
you
they're
get
gonna
info on the
continue
side.
this aggression.
Oh, this is weird.
Don't think the
Prowler goes
Prowler
out.
actually
It cleared all of
cleared
A
out
main.
Yedajay
No
for
one's
that
even
reason. He's now
considering
gonna
that he
make
was
his
round
move,
here.
start pushing
And they're
up
going to try
towards A.
fake
This is a
B and
lot
go
of
all the way
information
back.
to be had
Right?
for this attacking side. Now there's still defenders in this position.
Let's see what Yadajay can
It's
get.
whether or not maybe they turn their tail and run.
See, yeah, kind of covering it.
But with the
They're playing
spike so far
2-on-2.
committed, I'm not
They're
sure they
ready for
will.
any hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are they gonna try double fake this or something?
No, I'm seeing Yoru walk
But
that
what's
way.
the
and
spike
the
doing?
captain down. The spike needs to run for its life. Mr. Fallen barely
it's
making
like
it out.
30 seconds, though. They have to
Needs
commit
this
to this.
space. If they go
Yeah,
down
Yadajay
here,
can
it's
still win
done
the
and
round.
dusted, especially with Razorvines blocking them out and actually dividing the forces. Zeus won't be able to make it onto Yadajay
No, they know.
to help him out, secure that back site, and with 15
He's
seconds
giving
left,
10 seconds to try
KC
plant.
know what's going on. They've seen the cam. They know the contact is coming this way. 10 seconds
Okay,
left, and
very
that's
nicely
it.
done.
There is no way for Mr. Fallen to get this plant in. With 5 players, he'd need a god tier spray. He'd need a bookie
Dude, this,
to make that round work. It's 13 and 12.
It was
KC.
insane
Holy
from Sadak though
Maybe
to
a
begin
little
with.
bit of an
It's so much
overcooked.
damage.
We saw the first kill, right? Sadak taking down
Yeah, in the
Crux,
4v5,
not having
the
that
plan
initiator
wasn't
utility
great.
change their plans for what they want
Dude,
to
that
do
spam
now.
is deadly.
Yeah,
Oh, that's incredible spam.
change their plans completely onto how to take the sites and how to approach this space.
This push as well.
Maybe too many cooks in that kitchen because
I think it was just a giga misread.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they thought the fake they'd sold had moved everybody off of the site. They had absolutely no idea that Sugetsu was still in the pit.
would you consider that a fake?
Well, they threw in Anna Captain, threw Util, and
Mr. Fallen
put everything onto that site.
And yeah, it's
I think
definitely
it
a
was an
fake.
attempted fake. It just didn't work.
Not a very
Yeah,
good
but
one.
like, okay.
Not a very good one, but
I didn't consider when the spike is moving towards that side, you know?
Would have a lot of
As in
control.
you are trying to cause a reaction, you just don't see it.
But I also wonder if Mr. Fallen went deep to put the salvos in, because if he does it from further away, they would know.
it's obvious. Either way, whatever the plan was, it certainly didn't come to fruition. KC, again, taking control of this mid-space. You see it a lot in their defense. This is what they hold on to passive and then
Magenta
push
mates
back
out of
into
playoffs?
late.
Yeah, they are.
No surprise on their attack. They still focus around that part of the map.
Okay, it looks like we might
Splitting
see a
back out
similar
towards
thing where
sides.
they're
We've seen
getting
the fakes
info on
too,
the sides.
Often moving up, breaking into utility that would be
So they
protecting that
probably
B push.
know
I'm
that
a
they're
little
gonna be
nervous to
ending
see
A.
Sadik this far up on his own with the spike. Especially with a man like Yadajay on the other side, there's a good chance he swings through that smoke. And even now with backup, Martin could have his work cut out for him. If Yadajay does decide, they both
Yeah, they both gonna have util out.
This is really stressing me out.
Oh, they
No,
actually worked out
equal
pretty
usage,
well.
though.
Where's the
Sadik
spike
finds
gonna
the
go?
pick.
Commit over
Only
towards
gonna be
B,
Zeus. Typically,
tap for the
he's TP
spike,
back.
and then
He's
they
played from their
TP back,
spawn.
and now they go over towards
This
A.
time he sticks
But they don't
around, but
move.
notices
They're kind of
that
hitting
they've
too
left
early.
B.
These guys are
Against
running.
Mr. Fallen going back to the A side, and a captain with the
Oh,
double,
no.
and FUT still have a chance.
Keep an eye on the time. They might just double face sight here and stop the plant.
They need to get rid of
There's
this
a
man before they
crossfire.
can do too much more, and that's exactly
Okay,
what Martin
Martin.
will do. But now Mr. Fallen in position as well.
Ooh,
Battling
Mr.
with
Fallen got a
Zeus.
little greedy on that extra
It's
peak, I
Zeus
think.
Still on that long rotation,
He was desperate to
trying to
stop
sell the
plants
steps with the
potentially.
fake out, trying to give the idea that maybe he's gone a different
They
way.
do not know where Zeus is
Look
though.
how
They haven't seen him
passively
for the
the
entire
attack
round.
has moved. Look how far
Yeah,
back
they did.
they are sitting. Sugetsu has been spotted, but a move here is not going to be
Hey,
possible at
dude,
all.
Martin,
Oh,
last
will
kill.
be there to
What a
close
beast,
it.
man.
They
Martin
had
did
the
so
battle
good on this
versus
map.
the
So
crazy
good.
clutches
Oh.
that were thrown in from
He was
FUT,
never in doubt.
but they weathered the
No,
storm.
okay.
Yeah, there was some
No, it was never
small
no.
mistakes, but it does not
Great
matter.
map, though.
This